Welcome back. So in this video, we'll go over variables in C. And to start off, we'll go with an integer type. So you have to declare int, and let's say the variable will be called a. Now we'll assign it the value 10, and to print this, I'm going to format it just like this so that you can see where we're printing it, where the value is being printed. You're going to have to put a percent sign, and the type integer is represented as the value d. And then you're going to have to specify with a comma the value that you're printing, the variable a. So when you do this, you'll get the value 10. If you do it as any other value, let's say a C, which is a character type, it will print out nothing, or it can't print it. Now with a character type, or char, let's define like B is equal to, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and say C is string, let's say, for example. Now when we want to print these out, let's do two of these arrows so we can print both. Let's say you want to print B, and that's a C type, a car, and another one as well. You'll notice what happens is that we're going to get the last value from here because it's only printing one bit. So we're going to get the final value 6 and G. Now, we'll go over in a separate video how to do strings and print those strings, but for now, we'll just go with characters. Okay, so now let's see what happens when we assign a float value. So let's have the variable d be equal to 4.2. Now with this, let's try printing out d as a integer value, even though we assigned it as a float. So what happens is it gets assigned random values each time because it's actually a float and not an integer. So when we assign it the value f and the value d, we'll actually get the value here in where we specified it as a float, not where we specified it as a integer right here, so it'll come up with a random value. Now, if you want to format it, what happens is you have to do, let's say you want 1 decimal place, or let's go with 2 decimal places. And then let's assign the other one as a float as well. So the difference here is one has 2 decimal places and the other one is assigned the stock value or the default value of 6 decimal places. Okay, so just like in Python, what we can do is as long as we have our variables assigned, we can create equations such that we can add those variables together and create a product. So let's say our product is G, and we want to have G equal to E plus F, so 4 plus 6. What we can do is have that value printed. We can just make a integer value D, and we'll print it as G. So what happens is we'll get 4 plus 6, and it should print out just 10. So that's all I have for today's video. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you learned something.